Thank you for joining us today as we'll be exploring the evidence-based practice called family psychoeducation. We've been rolling this out in the public behavioral health system in Michigan for many years, and we have with us a panel of coach, trainer, supervisors for different regions all around the state. So would you please take a moment and tell us a little bit about where you're from, panel?
Hello, I'm Phil Cave and I'm from Genesee County. My region has been doing family psychoeducation since 2005.
Hello, my name is Jane Ehler, and I'm from West Michigan Community Mental Health System, and my region's been doing it since 2005.
I'm Amy Yashinsky. I am from Community Network Services in Oakland County, and we have been doing family psychoeducation since 2004.
And you guys have been really instrumental in helping us through the years also. So today what I really want to do is ask you guys a few questions that people might have about this evidence-based practice and how it could help families that we serve. So first of all, I know that this is an evidence-based practice for people in recovery with schizophrenia. So can you tell us a little bit about how can multifamily group help people with symptoms related to schizophrenia?
Well, an evidence-based practice is based on research, and that's what makes it different from any other clinical practice. The research shows that family psychoeducation for the first year, with its focus on symptom management and medication adherence, and using families to lower the levels of high expressed emotion, fosters recovery.
What Family Group offers is education, problem solving, and support. And it's also about absolving guilt. Many family members come into this whole process thinking it's something I did, something we must have done that must have caused this terrible illness. And we spend a lot of time talking about the nature of the illness, that it is an illness. Nobody caused it. This is a biological process. And that's all part of the family psychoeducation format and the process, working with the families and really validating what they've been through.
Also, in the initial engagement with families and with the people that we serve, we spend a lot of time trying to understand what the symptoms are, what each person's experience with the illness has been. And in doing that, families are better able to recognize symptoms and act appropriately when they are seen. And so that is very, very helpful in the recovery of somebody who is dealing with schizophrenia as well.
So it turns out that the most vulnerable part of the person's recovery is approximately 12 to 18 months after their break, and that's ironically at about the time that families begin to manifest a lot of pressure with expectations for performance, and right at the time when the person's most vulnerable, it's very, very risky, and so we use the family guidelines to inform the family about the benefits of going slow, for example, and lowering expectations.
When somebody has an illness that's long-term, when they begin to recover, everybody wants life back to normal. They want to go back to college, and maybe the family wants them back to work. And what we know about schizophrenia is that it's really like an injury to the brain, and it takes time to recover. And the family guidelines really foster a plan for making that happen.
Yeah, good point. Good point, everybody. So, family psychoeducation is also an evidence-based practice for people in recovery with bipolar disorder. So are there any specific things about multifamily group that can help people in recovery with bipolar disorder?
Well, again, it's also about the education, problem-solving, support. And I think one of the things that we haven't mentioned is this whole process offers hope for people. Hope that your life can be back to normal and a family can get back to normal.
Family psychoeducation is built around the understanding that mental illness is a biologically based brain disorder. So regardless of what illness a person has, an understanding of the biology of that illness is so helpful for both the person with the illness and their loved ones. So again, regardless of the illness, whether it be schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, the structure of the family psychoeducation model, the information involved or inherent within the family psychoeducation model is very, very helpful to anybody who is on a recovery journey.
Because as we know, identifying, one of the things we really focus on, I think, in family group too, especially in the initial joinings, is identifying triggers and early warning signs. Because we know that the sooner we do that, the less impact the illness is going to have on the individual and the family. And so if you can become very good at doing that, you can lower the stress level in the home, you can make whatever adjustments you need to medications, lifestyle, and it can become a blip on the radar instead of a huge event.
We know that unfortunately one of the major tragedies of a major mental illness is that it changes the person's relationship with their family of origin, and the family, just when they need the most support, find themselves being abandoned essentially without community resources. Part of that's based on a lack of information, both on the part of the family and the community at large. And family psychoeducation intends to help families build connections not only with their family members that would be helpful, but also with other members of the community at large.
And that's why we ask people to make like approximately a 9-month commitment to the group, because when you bring people together who have had these similar experiences, these similar events in their lives, the energy is often very powerful. They come together and they're experts in problem solving. They don't know it yet, but as they come together, they recognize that. And the support, the understanding, the problem solving that happens in the group is powerful. It's very surprising and it's overwhelming at times.